Honestly, I've been cutting hair probably since middle school. It was always something I dabbled with. I was in a lot of different programs, played sports and things like that. So never really had a chance to go get a haircut. My brother used to be fresh, and I'm like, bro, I gotta, I can't go to school looking crazy. So I'm like, yo, I was really, what I'm saying, like, I was a pretty boy, honestly. So
Okay.
like to have a haircut, like to be fresh. So when that happened, and I was in sports, so I'm like, bro, I'm getting out of school so late. The barbershops closed. I just picked up the clippers. I tore myself up a couple times, but I got better, of course, and then started cutting my friends. And from there, it just took off as a passion. And it was something I seen my dad do growing up, and my cousins. It was a hobby of theirs. So I honestly just picked it up naturally. And I used to just like to I was always a kid that liked to be around older people. Like my best friend's older. Like of course I got older siblings, and it's just like I used to like to get that knowledge. So I would go in the barbershop, sit and just listen to the people chop it up and talk about politics. And I feel like that's one reason why even at age 26 right now, like people meet me and they're like, yo, how old are you? 30? I'm like, nah, I'm 26. They're like, yo, what? Like I can't even talk to most 26-year-olds. And it's like but it's like I always been that type of person and just tried to be, just me, I guess. Like I never tried to really fit into a certain type of mold. Like I never conformed basically. So it was just one of those things, and I picked it up and just went from there.
That's pretty cool, man. So, speaking of barbershop, let's just talk about the barbershop culture.
Right.
You were saying, growing up, you've been around it, relatives, and he's talking about how people was talking about politics. And they have a major influence on your life because you have a different type of grown-up demeanor because of being around it.
Yeah.
What would you say to the people that haven't really been in a barbershop like that? How would you describe it?
Honestly, a barbershop is a place where a boy can become a man and learn a lot of things. Like, I feel like it's honestly vital. And it's like now it's a lot of single mothers and a lot of absent fathers or fathers that just always working. And you see like the difference. I remember being a kid, going into barbershops. I dap the old heads up. I'm talking to everybody. I'm speaking. I'm sweeping up hat, everything. Like, not expecting nothing in return, anything. Just being around and getting that knowledge was enough. Now these guys, it's so different because these kids, they're a lot more sheltered and it's not a bad thing, but technology has gave them a certain level of comfortability that I feel like is kind of uncomfortable because it doesn't really expose them to the real world. Because when you get older and get of age, it matters. And the barbershop had a strong foundation for me because I learned respect. I still say yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am. Like I've always been that type of person. So, and I think a barbershop, especially with a young kid, that starts a very strong foundation. And like I said, with a lot of these single moms and things like that, or absent fathers, these kids, they're a lot more. They're a lot more softer. Like they're not confident. They come in, their heads down. They're just I'm like, yo, like put your head up, speak, you know what I'm saying, you good, we family, it takes a village, and that's something that's absent in today's world. Like your kid could be acting up or doing something to you that you feel, and you as an adult can say something to that kid, and the parent snaps at you, and you're like, I'm trying to help you out, like your kid is doing something to me, but that's the culture that we live in. It's crazy. It's honestly, it's different. It's just different.
That's the one thing I can say about just coming up, in a barbershop is that I think this is the only place, professional place where it's just so unfiltered and raw.
Right.
It's it's like a man's place.
And to an extent, you need that.
Yeah, you
need that.
Need that because coming back from what you said, man, from your influences, I had a lot of influences as going to a barbershop too. Of course, I didn't become a barber, but I remember those conversations.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think one of the biggest things nowadays is that the lack of conversation, especially with social media.
Exactly.
And I think you get that a lot in
barbershops. You could be in a room with two people and they can be texting. And they're in the same room with each other. And it's like they're just so not used to talking no more. You can have everything to say to me in a text, but I'm right across from you and not saying nothing from me. To me. And it's it's the same even on a social level. Go out and look at these people that own dates or whatever. Just look around. Just take a moment to look around. Everybody's looking down at their phone.
It's true.
And it's crazy because they had a study, and I can't remember exactly what it was on, but it said the average human being at this point spends the average of 4 years looking down at their phone. So you think of how much time that is. It's passed by in 4 years of you just looking down. That's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
You spend 4 years looking at it because you can't even go to the bathroom without your phone. You can't. It's that engulfing. It's crazy. You can't even go to the bathroom without your phone.
Man, I had this conversation, man, with someone maybe a couple of weeks ago. I remember a time before everyone had cell phones.
Right.
Used to leave the house, whatever. Now, if I leave the house with on my phone,
Going right back.
Burning tires and stuff, it's
Going right back.
What did we used to do before that? Now, this thing right here is like so imperative in our lives. Like, it's controlling.
It is.
Do you think that affects the barbershop experience in a sense? Because, like, all right, when I used to go to the barbershop when I was younger, it wasn't like scheduling.
Right.
So now, being that people can make appointments, I know it's convenient and stuff.
Right,
but do you think that kind of affects the environment?
Definitely, because it's like, depending on where you at and depending on what type of shop environment that you're actually in, it's like it's different. Like here, it's more of a professional like appointments only. But then you might go 10 miles down the road and you got like real old school traditional barbershop feel. As to here, and prices make a difference. If you might charge a little more, so you're not going to get a particular crowd. And unfortunately, the way we grew up, those barbershops catered to our situations.
Right.
So you do have those barbershops, it's just not prevalent, and I do think that is missing because a lot of times, even in here, it takes a while to like break that ice. It's like when that first person got to go out there and finally start dancing or like finally do something to get the crowd going. Like it has to be something to get everybody engaged and finally get everybody talking. If not, you come in and look around, even in the barbershop, everybody's on their phone. Like still, like it's like nobody talks. You might have conversation in your chair, but if you just look around, even as you're talking to somebody, they're still in their phone. And it's just like that's just the society we live in. It's just different. And I'm not saying it's worse or better, but it's just different. And I really feel like from not necessarily an adult standpoint, but from just adolescent, you need conversation. Like these kids can't even talk, can't even complete sentences. Like everything is slang, everything is text message savvy. So it's good, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it has a negative impact, especially when you start putting that into your everyday life and you're posting on social media and these platforms, and you can have an important message, but if your grammar is off or your language is off, nobody's going to take you serious. So it's one of those things where it's like it's good, but at the same time, it has its negatives. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, being that you grew up in a barbershop, now you're a barber, professional barber, do you feel as though you take more of a mentoring role to these little kids now that come around, being that, it's not a lot of, they're raised by single women?
What's funny is I have a great story for that. John P. Key, who's a prominent pastor here in Charlotte, world renowned, a lot of people know him, but he's based here in Charlotte. His son comes in here and get a haircut and had no clue it was John P. Key's son. And I used to cut his hair, and now he's in school. But I'm 26, so I feel like I can still connect with them. Like, a lot of these older guys, they like, oh, y'all young, y'all know nothing. So they don't mentor them. They just keep pushing them further and further away, which is what everybody else do. I'm like, I've been there. I've been in school. I know the temptation you're going after. I know what's coming at you. I know how hard it is. Like, I know. Trust me, they don't teach us. Like, guidance counselors, where we grew up, they don't come to us and actually guide us. You got to go seek them out. Like, I had to go and search for those things. Like, and we don't have that. We don't know we can go to school for creative writing. If you do a schedule right now, or let's just say you do a random poll of kids of like 15 to even 25, I guarantee you most of the black kids want to be athletes or entertainers. They don't know the school. They don't know they can go to school for creative writing. They don't know they can go to, like, it's so much stuff out here that we can look into, even trades and stuff that we don't know. But that's all we feel like we can do. And I feel like that right there is something that's missing and something I can help them with, because I've been there. Like, I'm not that far removed. I'm still dealing with certain things. I'm still going through that. I still have those struggles myself. And it's like, going back to John P. Key's son, I told him, I was like, yo, you going to school, you're about to it's girls, alcohol, it's going to be everything. Like, you're going to have so much freedom that you're not going to know what to do with yourself. You're really going to be like, it's like you're entering adulthood for real. There's nobody making you get up. There's nobody telling you if you don't go to class. Your professors don't care. If you don't show up, you don't show up. They do a roll call, you're not there, oh well. And I'm like, as long as you can balance that, have your fun. Have your fun. By all means, I don't care. Like, do what you do, we human. But make it be balanced. He came to me a year and a half later, and he was getting his hair cut by another person in here, and he looked different at the time. I didn't even realize it was him. He had grew his hair out and everything. And he just kept looking at me. I'm like, yo, what's up? How you doing? He was like, Preston, bro, I've been wanting to talk to you. I was like, what's up? He said, man, I just want to say thank you. I was like, for what? He was like, because that conversation we had when I first went to school, he said, bro, I still live by that. I said, wow. I said, are you serious? I was like, I didn't even think you honestly took me serious. He was like, man, I still think about that, and that helps me to this day. And it made me feel good knowing that I affected him in that matter, and I'm 26 years old. And that sticks with me. You know Like, so I honestly do, because I feel like they're not getting that. I mean, just look at the leadership of the country right now. Everything is in shambles. Like, everything. Like, everybody's against each other. Like, divide and conquer is the easiest tactic ever. And it's working. It's working. We're seeing it at its finest. And it's like, if everybody looks around, we're in the same position. Nobody has as much money as Donald Trump or his constituents. But yet, we continue, or not even we, but his followers continue to believe in him and follow him. First of all, what do you think a rich white guy is going to do for you when you're poor? Anything that he does to help you and influence you is going to hurt his pockets on the back end. So it's like, what makes you think that he's really going to do something for you? And if that's not bad enough, just look at, like, he got kids locked up in a house, in a cage. Not even like just out in the open, like you're in a house behind bars. So, and it's like, you're seeing this. You're seeing him call people shitholes. You're seeing him call, like, he degrades women. And this is the person that you choose to support. And it's like, do I knock you? No. But I hope you come around at some point. I honestly do. It's just, it's crazy, man. And this is what we got to deal with right now in society, though. And it's sad, because even just taking it being a black guy, like, we grew up probably similar. You're in Virginia. And I had this conversation with a white guy that was a Trump supporter. I was like, and we was talking about police brutality and stuff, because those conversations can happen in the barbershop. And I love that conversation, because we appropriate too much. I feel like for too long we have appropriated. When somebody that's not black come around and we talk about black issues, we automatically cut them off. No, they need to hear this. They need to hear our struggles. They need to hear it coming from the horse's mouth, not just somebody on TV. They need to feel what we're feeling. Like, it's still the same for us. As far as we are, as much as we've been through, as far as we come, it's still the exact same. They keep reminding us that we are what we are. And we all know what that is. I'm not even going to say it on this platform. Right. And it's just one of those things. And it's like, these kids, they feel like they have nothing else. So everybody's like, I hate the music, I hate this. That's what these kids are going through. They're using prescription drugs. They're smoking, they're drinking, and all this stuff to cope with what's going on. They don't see a future. They don't see a future. We're still computer illiterate. We're still financially literate. And our parents didn't know that. Their parents didn't know that. So we couldn't pass that down. So it's a trickle-down effect. And now our youth is still continuing to deal with that. And I'm still a part of that. And it's still impacting me. But I'm trying to be that person that if I can just change one person and give somebody some type of encouragement, that's what I do. And I'm just not nobody special. But if I can change somebody, that's what I love to do.
That's real, man. Everything you said, man, resonates with me so much, man, and it's something that needs to be said.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times you're right, man. And one of the reasons I started this and I'm building this platform is because our story has been told to other people instead of us.
Instead of us, and we're dealing with it.
So what you were saying, most people want to be entertainers or rappers or something because that's what they see in mass media, but it's much more than that. It's
way more
than that.
Way more.
You know what I'm saying? So. And I appreciate you by you having people like you, such as yourself, telling your story, man, and just being real and authentic and genuine. A lot of people can get something from that. And these little kids, these younger people, seeing brothers as positive, they going to get something from that.
Right.
So you get that positive imagery. So then, I get like I have my nephew, he's going to be a nurse and necessary.
Exactly.
I never even heard of that.
Exactly.
But he a cool brother and stuff. When we used to get all these visuals out there, then boom.
It made people start to see a difference.
Exactly.
Like I want people to look at me and say, "Oh man, I can do this. I can do this." Like, dude, you can do it. Don't get me. It's gonna be harder. As being black in America, you just have to understand that everything is gonna be harder. But you can do it. You can do it. It don't matter if you like. Even Stephen A. Smith brought it up an example. He said the reason why the situation didn't go bad because one of the cops that was like, "Hey man, that's Stephen A. Smith." Everybody don't have that luxury. Like when we grow up and we deal with police, we try not to call them. We don't care if somebody just broke in our house and had us at gunpoint. We're gonna try our best to call the police because as soon as we do, we're treated like criminals. They don't give us that. And then on top of that, it's gonna take forever for them to even get there. And you talk to somebody that didn't grow up the way we grew up, and it don't have to be somebody just black and white. I don't want to make it a black and white thing because white people have certain same issues. Hispanic, it's like everybody deals with certain things depending on where we are, so we all have these issues, but it's like there's nothing wrong with standing up for you and your people and trying to make a difference. And it's like we shouldn't have to keep growing up like this, man. Like every day we're in masquerade. We have to look how we talk, we have to watch how we walk, we have to watch everything that we do. Like we can't be too braggadocious, we can't be too like everything is you're always watching yourself. And that's a shame that it's 2018 and I still have to watch myself and how I carry myself. And if you ask other people this, they didn't grow up like that. You ask them about conversations with the police, people of other backgrounds, they'd be like, man, we call them, we this and that, we that. We're like, man, we try to avoid them. And that's one major difference that people just honestly can't grasp. Like, it's like, why don't y'all do this? Why don't you do this? It's like, we want to do those things. We just can't because we know the consequences. And that's the sad part.
That's it. That's it, man. Hey, well, let the people know. First of all, I want to say thank you again.
Oh, yeah. No problem. No problem.
So,
Definitely.
let the people know your name, where they can find you at to come get a fresh cut at.
My name is Preston Wingate. I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina, University area. Bennett's Barbershop, 1530 Overland Park Lane, Suite 103, shop number 980. Wait a minute. 704-910-1804 is the shop number. Instagram, Cutmaster3 with a K, capitalized M. Follow me on Instagram. Come through, man. We do great work. Thank this brother for the platform. Anything I can do to help, man, I'm here. Y'all come give us a shout out. We in Charlotte.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
All love.